Okay, the conversions between centimeters to meters, centimeters squared to meters squared, and centimeters cubed to meters cubed. So we'll start with the conversion between centimeters to meters. So I'm going to say we've got a line here. The line is a meter long, and we know that in 1 meter there's 100 centimeters. So the conversion factor there is 1 meter is equal to 100 centimeters. And the number is 100, so we're either going to have to multiply or divide by 100 to go between the meters and the centimeters. And it's really straightforward. When you go from the big one to the small one, you always multiply. And when you go from the small one to the big one, you divide. So to go from meters to centimeters, the big one to the small one, you're going to multiply by the 100. And when you want to go from centimeters to meters, i.e. the small one to the big one, you divide by 100. Okay, let's have a look at a square then. So this would be for centimeters squared to meters squared. Right now we have 1 meter in length, 1 meter in width. So the area of that is 1 meter squared. But remember that there are 100 centimeters in a meter. So the length is 100 centimeters long and the width is 100 centimeters long as well. That means that the area in centimeters is 100 by 100 is 10,000 centimeters squared, which means that 1 meter squared is 10,000 centimeters squared. Remember the rule again. When you want to go from the big one to the small one, that's meters squared to centimeters squared in this case, you're going to multiply, and when you're going the other way, it's divide. And the number that we multiply by is the 10,000 in this case. So to go from meters to centimeters, multiply by 10,000. To go from centimeters to meters, divide by 10,000. The last one is centimeters cubed to meters cubed. We know we're dealing with volume here, and the volume of that shape is equal to 1 by 1 by 1, 1 meters cubed. But remember that 1 meter has 100 centimeters in it as well. So the volume in centimeters cubed is 100 by 100 by 100. That's 1,000,000 centimeters cubed. So 1 meters cubed equals 1,000,000 centimeters cubed. Remember the rule. When you go from the big one to the small one, you multiply by the number there on the bottom left-hand corner. So to go from meters cubed to centimeters cubed, we're going to multiply by 1,000,000. And to go the other way, we divide by 1,000,000. Okay, that's one perspective on how to do it. In summary, when you want to go from centimeters to meters, that's the conversion factor. Either multiply or divide by 100. When you want to go from centimeters squared to meters squared, you multiply or divide by 10,000. And then for centimeters cubed to meters cubed, multiply or divide by 1,000,000. Remember the rule. When you want to go from the big one to the small one, you multiply by the number. And then when you want to go from the small one to the big one, you divide by that number. There's another way of looking at it though, and that is the conversion factor from centimeters to meters is 100. The conversion factor from centimeters squared to meters squared is 100 squared. And the conversion factor from centimeters cubed to meters cubed is 100 cubed. So either of those ways of remembering it, and good luck with questions involving them.